Hi guys, welcome to Diversity with Dola. My name's Dola and we are here to learn a little bit about diversity and inclusion, but this is also a call to action. We are asking our local community to join us as we petition our local school district, Joplin Schools, asking that they provide more intentional efforts and more resources to address issues related to diversity and inclusion. So please join us and like our page, Diversity with Dola. Like and share this video if you think it'll help someone else or something that they need to hear. But also, if you have a story to share, please do so on our page. We will compile all of those stories along with a petition that we will submit to our local school district at the end of this 30 days. So we are on day 28, and we have talked a little bit about how in our society we group people based on different characteristics like age, sex, religion, sexual orientation, lots of different ones. And so these are called social identity categories or social identity groups. Now within these social identity groups, there are three important different categories that you should know about. So the first one's going to be the agent group. The agent group generally is going to be that group who has more access to power and resources. These are the decision makers. These are the ones who are the dominant group. Most generally, the way that they do things is going to be the norm and considered kind of the status quo or the best way of doing things. So on the other side of that, we have the target group. The target group is going to be the group who is more susceptible to oppression. This group often does not have a lot of access to resources, limited decision-making power. They are expected to assimilate with the dominant group most times and are usually the minority group. So we have the agent group who has all the power, and then we have the target group who is often susceptible to oppression. But there is another group that is often new to people, and this is called the border group. So the border group doesn't really fit perfectly into either the agent or the target group, but it sits on its own. And it's important to acknowledge that people who fall into this border group, that they do experience life differently than someone in that agent or target group. Now, the benefit of being in a border group is that you will often have access to both the agent and the target group within that social identity. So I'll use myself as an example. As a biracial person, I have access to the black and the white side of my experiences. So my family, I go into a white or Caucasian culture and I understand it and I learn it. And then I also am invited into an African American culture that I live and I learn. So what I can hopefully do is act as a bridge of understanding and bring these two groups together to work together a little better. So being a border group can be very beneficial, but it's not always. And those of you who are biracial, please comment if you understand this. So sometimes when you're in the border group, you feel like you don't necessarily belong anywhere. And I experienced this especially being younger, trying to figure out who I am and how I identify. I would go into one culture and something that was very acceptable just wasn't acceptable in the other culture. So I find myself trying to juggle between the two, almost feeling pulled, trying to figure out, but where do I fit? So today I just say I don't necessarily fit into either one, but I fit somewhere in the middle. So again, today we talked about social identity groups and that within those groups there are different categories. There are the agent, border, and target groups. So join me tomorrow and find out who falls under these different categories. Who falls under agent, border, and target social identity status. Find out where you fall. And so thank you so much. Like our page, Diversity with Dola. Hope to see you again.